Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream coming at you from the V1HQ here in beautiful Georgia. The fall is upon us in full swing. Pumpkin spice lattes are flowing like the salmon of Capistrano. It is a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. I hope you guys are feeling all right for this stream. We are back in the A320 Airbus. It has been, I was looking back on the channel, it's been almost 3 weeks since we've been in the Fenix. So it is a long past due, and part of that was I was kind of hoping that the IEs would drop, before we started to get back in it. But, due to software being software, if things get delayed, that's no big problem. I figured we'd do one more stream. Hopefully, this might be the last stream we fly in CFM engines, because I can promise you one thing. Once the IAEs release, I will probably never stream a CFM Airbus again on this channel. Just because I've had so much CFM time, I am done. I know I see Wingnuts here in chat. He's a big CFM fan. I don't understand it. Just kidding. Good to see Wingnut, T-Sizzle, Tyson's here, Ralph R, Jeff L, Ali, Sammy, Flight of Live, Zippy Zapple is here, RC Flyer, Kyle Lewis, Al W from the DFW. Good to see you. John Swanson. Are you related to Mary Swanson? Kyle Ferris, Brian Valdez, Mysterious Mr. T, Digital Merc, Dougal McTavish is also here gracing us with his presence. Good to see you, Dougal. AJ Funari. No pumpkin spice lattes for me today, man. No PSLs for me today. I had some, that's actually, no coffee. I don't have any coffee for this stream. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Tukatari, good to see you. And Mr. Martini, many more in chat. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you are well. And I think it's time we get this show on the road. So, here we are. Look at this. I like this livery. Jetstar. This is a subsidiary of Jet 2, I believe, or I don't know, subsidiary is the wrong word, but branch of Jetstar, Jet 2. So we flew the silver livery before. Now we're flying this one, which is all orange, which I'm really liking. I actually like this color on the airplane here. It looks pretty good. So we're going to be hopping in this airplane. We're going to take it down to, what's the name of the airport? Brockton? What? Whatever, RBK. I'm drawing a blank right now, the name of the airport. But apparently there's like something to do with beef and like all kinds of stuff. And there's an interesting arrival in there, so we're going to fly that. And then the next stream will be going down to Sydney, and then we will head over back to Los Angeles from Sydney, guys. I flew the 747, just a little test out today, see how it handled. I cannot wait for that long haul. I can't believe I'm saying that. But let's focus on today. Let's have a good day. Rockhampton. Thank you, Tyson. Rockhampton. That's what I was looking for. Where can I see V1 specs? There you go, right there. Kyle Ferris popped them up for you. All right, into the cockpit we shall go. We're looking at about an hour and 10 minutes block time today, so we're going to be having a nice little cruise up there. So cold and dark, we're on the airplane. I was just messing around with some of my charts. Let's take it from the top. It's cold and dark, and the time, I fast-forwarded it like 2 hours, but I still wanted to get the sunrise, so it's still dark. Let's see if I can find the battery 1, battery 2. With those found, I'm going to hit that button there, and we should get some lights. There we go. Let's let the airplane come to life. Why is this over here so big on my my second monitor is doing issues for me over here. All right. You're still in the 99? I am, Kyle Ferris. I am. I was going to update my PC, was going to do a PC sponsorship thing, and then I ended up just, not prioritizing it. So we're still rocking the old 9900K. I'm sure at some point I'll upgrade, but I mean, it's still doing a pretty good job. Am I doing cross spawn? No, Taylor, I will be in Los Angeles this weekend. So I leave on Thursday, I leave Friday for a wedding. I'll be there till Sunday. So I can assure you that the IAEs will release this Thursday evening or early Friday morning, because I will not be here. So if you're wondering when the IAEs will be released from the Fenix, that is my official release date, because why not? I've had pretty much full control of my schedule except these 4 particular days, and that's when they will release them. So can't wait for that. I can't wait to see everyone popping off the Discord, showing their IAEs off, and I get to sit doing rehearsal dinner. So it should be fun. Let's do Queenstown again. No mushrooms in the cockpit. Oh boy, Tyson, that's gonna be, we got some, that whole thing, man, it's pretty wild. All right, let's go ahead and get our overhead flow done. We'll go cruise supply, ground control on, CVR test. There she is. We'll go captain only there, especially we don't want any Passengers on mushrooms trying to issue an evac command, so we'll put that on captain only. Let's go ahead and put the status on. We'll do that like so. That looks good. Strobe go to position auto, nav position 1. No smoking, auto arm the emergency exit lights. Overhead looks good. Battery test will always fail. Let's do fire engine 1. Fire engine 2. Wingnut already tested the APU, so everything else looks good on the overhead there. Beautiful. With everything else coming to life, let's get some more lighting in here. It's kind of lame lighting situation. Amir said there are issues with Block 2. Did he really? Well, hey, this may be selfish of me, but I hope they delay it until November when I can actually be here when they release it. So if anyone's asking me, I say, hey, keep it delayed. Keep it delayed. Brighten up this here. I guess I need a little bit of floodlight situation down there, don't I? There we go. That looks a little bit better. All right, down to the FMGC. Let's go ahead and do a flight net. While that's doing that, I'm going to check the engine page here. We got oil, we have hydraulics, we have fuel. Pressurization is in auto at 30 feet. Beautiful. Status recall. That's normal. We're powering up. Let's come down here. AOC flight plan uplink. Beautiful. We are Jetstar JST 357. That's going right there. Cost index of 99. I don't care what the book says. Cruise flight level we filed. What did we file? 350. New emoji. Mushrooms in the cockpit. Don't know. Hey, if you want to do fly both CFM and IA buses or one or the other, if you can answer due to your employer stuff, I get it. Hey, man, I've flown them all. Jared Tubes, I've flown them all. The IEs are definitely the superior one. All right, YBCS departure. We are planning on the Swift 8 1-5 departure. So we're going to do the 1-5 departure. I'll double check the winds here. So I guess the winds things are kind of messed up, right? So we can't deal with the A-car's wind. So we'll have to look it up here. Matter of fact, can I just double check here? Because I hate to have to double back. AirDog, yes, we are. Hey, AirDog, isn't that an airline? Or I thought I saw something of AirDog in Australia. Maybe I don't know what that was all about. I was looking at liveries for the Phoenix. I saw an AirDog one. METARs for cans. 150 at 4. Perfect. So we're going to blast off 1-5. Should be good. All right. Blast off 1-5 all the way down to YBRK. Now the arrival, this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to do the RNAV also 1-5. I'm assuming the winds are going to be relatively the same. There's no real good star for us, but we can approach via Burke NC, right? Because we're going off Burke NM. So I think Burke NC will be right there. We'll insert that. This stream is sponsored by T-Swift. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've had enough T-Swift. I tell you what, as an American football fan, the T-Swift is getting a little bit dated here, but it is what it is. 29901, that is set, and we'll go plan mode. Let me just look at this here. Go to the bottom of my flight plan, and we'll go backwards here. Let's see. Burke NM, Burke NC, NF, NM. Okay, that looks pretty good, actually. All right, so that all lines up wonderfully. Let's finish with our box here. Flight plan, secondary. We'll do a quick secondary, YBCS to YBCS. Jetstar is a subsidiary of Qantas. Aha, that makes much more sense. Thank you, Kyle Ferris. Thank you. Just had Portuguese steak dinner, Mr. Martini. Ooh, that sounds delicious, man. That sounds delicious. Oh, that was Flight Force that had the steak dinner. All right, arrival. If we have to come back around, let's just do the RNAV 1-5 if we have to. We can also go elsewhere depending on our situation. Let's go back to the perf approach phase. Barrel ref, I'm not sure what it is. We'll put 500 in there for now. We'll zero out the winds, and temperature is 22, and QNH was 29991. That goes in the secondary. Done. RadNav, nothing hard tune. Progress page, we'll put Cairns Airport right in there. We'll go perf over to the next page. fuel, and a NIT B. All right, that leaves us at 0 fuel weight, 0 fuel weight, CG. Everything else looks good. We'll go VOR, terrain on end. Oh, we don't need terrain. We're not even aligned yet. Still 2 minutes to go on the alignment. That looks good. Let me come over here and get our perf situation, and then we'll start the boarding process. Can you show an engine out procedure on one of your streams? Skyfall, I have numerous engine out procedures. I did one of the most spicy engine out procedures just last month on the Fenix A320 out of Salt Lake's, no, it was Reno, I believe Reno Tahoe. Was it Reno? If you just look back like a month or two, the engine out, special complex engine out at a Reno, and it is absolutely a doozy. So I've done numerous engine outs. Hey, trust me, once the IEs come out, though, we're going to be breaking some more engines just for fun. But until then, I'm kind of just taking it chill on the engine failures until we get some new engines to break. 0 fuel weight is 124.9. We'll go 124.9 and 30.5. And our fuel is on board already, 16.4. Absolutely wonderful. Fuel is set with the fuel on board. We'll go here, 1, 2, 3... We'll go seatbelt sign on, and I think it's time to begin the boarding process. So we'll get the APU primed up, get that flap open. GSX, begin boarding. Now, I haven't had time to configure Fenix or GSX yet, but I will. I just haven't had time. I got too carried away with the 747 situation. Look at that Cathay 350, looking good, looking good. All right, everyone's showing up to the airplane. No EOCID and no alternate, no virtual flight training, not on this one. We're just gonna make a left turn out over the water, come back, land on 1.5 if we blow an engine. We have other problems if that happens. It was Reno, yeah, Tiger Dude, yep. But is there a release date for the IEs? Toby spotting, yes, my official release date for the IEs will be Thursday or Friday this week. But again, that's just my official release date. Nothing from Fenix officially, but I can almost guarantee you it'll be when I'm not here. So, cart driver has no fear. I just got the 318. Can you pan to the right? How am I looking? You look like a 7.3 over there. Both pilots are already on board, so we don't need a board crew. We'll just go ahead and send the passengers. The passengers are going to start coming down. Let's see. Oh, look at that Australian sunrise in Queensland, Australia. Good evening, Zylibo. Good to see you. Gustavo's here. Good to see you, Gustavo. What do we got, Gustavo? With you and now unemployed. Gustavo. Uh-oh. Hopefully that's didn't come as a surprise, or that's never very good. Well, hopefully you'll pick up something. Hey, maybe you can. They're always looking for King Air charter pilots. Maybe you should get back in aviation, man. Or come down south of the border. Come down to the dark side, Gustavo. Glad to have you on board, though, my friend. I'm currently flying Sierra Kilo 949 from somewhere to Canada with the new X-Works 340. Interesting, Toby. X-Works 340. Is that the... I feel like I saw that online somewhere. Thoughts on the new Dash 7? I cannot wait, Mixesh. I'm actually excited for the Dash 7. I know many people aren't too excited for that. They'd rather have a Dash 8. And I think, honestly, myself, I would rather have a Dash 8 as well. But I'm more excited to see what the SimWorks Studio is going to bring to the table. Because it is SWS, right? SimWorks with that Dash 7. It's a little bit larger airplane than they've normally made in the past. Because normally don't they make small GA stuff? So I want to see how that airplane handles and how does it live up to their previous standards of quality and all that, because I think somebody mentioned they were also partnering with somebody to do a 727, which I know and believe firmly is a pipe dream, but I got to keep the dream alive. It's pilots, not oh, that's right, Kevin. Pilots, not SWS. They only did the modeling. Okay, pilots is doing the Dash 7. SWS and pilots collaboration. Forgive me, for I have sinned. Is there any good study guides you can recommend for ATPL and multi-IFR? Yes, there's a handful of them out there. You got your standard GLIME. You get your GLIME books that do, pretty much any rating. But there's one book that I always recommended to students. It was called Oh my god, everything. Oh, someone even in chat must know. It's like everything the private pilot should know, or everything the multi-pilot should know. God, it's got like a yellow and black cover. It's almost like a play on something for dummies. You remember that series of books? My goodness, I might have to look it up. But it was I think it was Everything Explained. Maybe that's what it was. Everything Explained. And they have different books for depending on which rating you're on. So you could do Everything Explained for the commercial pilot. And it's one of those books that really breaks down some really complex topics and puts them more in layman's terms to help you get a good understanding of the fundamental of what you're trying to learn. I believe that's what it was called. Everything Explained. There it is. Yeah, Matthew Presley's got it. Such a fun, jokes everywhere. Fun book, jokes everywhere, yeah. Have I seen the Latin VFR 330? I have. They have OANs, but I don't know about the overall experience. Claudian, I have seen the Latin VFR. I did a little poll on the last stream to see if anybody would be interested in me flying it, and it did not go very well. So, I mean, it looks like a base default 320 flight model system situation with a decent external model. My gripe with that airplane is I understand where they're going from a business perspective. They're killing it from a business perspective. They're catering to the Xbox user or entry-level user, but it's not for me. And it's just, I know I would be not very happy with my purchase. You know, if that makes sense. I think it's a little pricey. I think an airplane of that nature should stay around the same $15 mark. I think $34 or whatever it is. It's just, that's asking a lot for not very much, you know, if I'm being completely honest. This is no disrespect to Latin VFR because, like I said, I think the model looks pretty darn good. I like the cockpit. I like the texturing, you know, but there's a lot of things on there that I can just see from afar. And by no means am I an A330 driver. Please do not throw that out there. But I just don't think it's going to scratch the itch for me. Shepherd Air Flight Test 5.0 prop software ATP was the best you ever had. There you go. There's some more recommendations from Gustavo. Talked to a guy at Pilots at FS Expo. Sounded like Dash 7 was really close to release, but that was 3.5 months ago now. Interesting, Jeff. I can only imagine that. Didn't we have a big update on the sim? I mean, I only imagine as you get closer and closer to release, or you think you're at release, being in software development, that, you know, things are going to come up that you just cannot forecast. You cannot see them coming. So even though you firmly believe your prediction of being released by this date, or hey, I am close, you know, quote unquote close to release, and then something comes up that you had no idea was going to come up, and now you're delayed a couple months. I mean, it is what it is. I've been in this game long enough. I've been flight simming since the early 2000s, even late 90s. Not to date myself, I'll say this. In the late 90s, I was a very, very young flight simmer, but I was still in the environment of flight simulation, and I would say mostly between like 2002 and up with the FSX, FS9, you know, you just get used to delays in software, and you understand that a quality product that's going to bring you hours upon hours of joy and entertainment, they take time to create. So just a Latin VFR is rubbish, but with the Horizon mod from the headwind installer, it's basically a fly-by-wire aircraft. Interesting. So okay, yeah, you're talking about for the 31921 situation, Lazaros. I was wondering if that was going to be my next question. Could you use the Horizon mod from the headwind installer on the Latin VFR 330? Is that an option? Jeff L says, I work for a flight sim developer now. It's pretty difficult. I can only imagine. Merlin 20, good to have you on board, man. Looks like we're just finishing up the rest of the bags. And with the rest of the bags getting finished up here, we still got 84 of 32. I think that's been 3 minutes. Let's get the bleed on. We'll leave the external power loaded up because there's really no... And this, we actually just got a memo about this. Not a memo, just a reminder. Like, hey, if your ground power is still available and you're running the APU, leave the APU unloaded electrically if you're using the pneumatic. So, like, if it's hot, this is when it's most common. When it's super hot, you want to use the pneumatics from the APU, but you don't have to overload or fully load the APU with electricals too. You can still use the ground power for electrical. Now some countries, and maybe this airport has it, I'm not too familiar, will have strict APU restrictions where it comes to noise and all that, and then it's going to be a little bit different. But for the most part in the US, we just give it a full send with the APU and, you know, deal with it later. Did you see the pictures of the PMDG EFB? Brian, I did. It looks pretty good. It drives, am I the only one that is slightly perplexed that they just don't want to call it an EFB? What is it? The Ultimate Flight Tablet, or UFT? I don't know. It sounds like it. The UFT, I don't know. It sounds like a venereal disease or something. Just call it an EFB or an iPad or Ultimate Flight Tablet, please. Oh well. I mean, it looks good. I'll give them that. It looks really good. Can't wait to give it a shot. Steven says, I can't respect a product that requires the hard work of other people to function properly. Yeah, that's, I understand exactly where you're coming from, Steven. You talk about, you know, throwing in the mods of like a fly-by-wire mod internal to a 321. I get you. That's kind of, I'm in the same boat, man. That's why I really haven't had a desire to do that either. What add-ons right now, David? We are just sporting the Fenix A320 and this Cairns Airport. I can't remember who made this one. But everything else is default. I don't use any other... Oh, I use Rex AccuSeasons to get the colors of the trees to turn fall, which I cannot wait. I kind of... If before we do the super long haul back to LA, I might cheat a little bit and do 1 or 2 streams in the US so we can see some fall colors, because it is my favorite time of year to fly right now. All right, 350 is what we filed. What did I put in the box? Did I put 35 or 36? 350. All right, 35, 35. We'll go back to our perf. I guess we can run our speeds, and let's get out of here. So departure perf. Phoenix working on a new aircraft? Yeah, they're working on the 19 and the 21 and the IAE engines. So, all right, sync live weather, sync the final load sheet, calculate that for 1.5, please. Pumpkin spice latte season trees, exactly. All right, what do we got today? Oh, we got Force Toga. Yes, let's rerun these. Flap optimum, anti-ice off, packs on, unless we hit 170 likes, because we only have 70 likes, so we need 100 more likes. 170 likes, we'll do a packs off takeoff. If not, we're going to do packs on, and it's not going to sound as juicy as it possibly could, but I give you control. As the chat, you are in control of what type of takeoff we do. We will do a Toga takeoff at 18, 40, 40 flap 1. So 118, 140, 140, and flap 1 is going in right here. You know what's kind of cool is we just got another software update. All the Neos used to do this anyway. The Neos would automatically populate THS, but now we're getting software where even the older ones will populate the THS in decimal form. So we don't use it at all. We used to, and then Airbus said you shouldn't because you can accidentally set it the wrong direction. But now we're starting to see that box get populated. Wow, look at the sun rising. Oh my goodness. I know we're about ready to go, but look at this. Jeremy Harvey, good to see you, man. Says, hey, glad to catch you. Didn't even see that you were streaming. Jeremy, welcome on board, my friend. Glad to have you here. Flight Sim Guy, good afternoon. I consider that like button smashed. Excellent, Flight Sim Guy. Packs on, flex, hush kits, extra lame sauce, indeed. All right, look at, I mean, I'm just watching the sun. You can actually see it rising. I mean, it's hurting my eyes. I feel like I need to put some sunglasses on. Isn't that just beautiful? What a phenomenal simulator we have. We just have a phenomenal simulator. All right, prepare for pushback and departure, please. We do not want to start before push. Excuse me, I got hiccups. Do not want to push before. We'll go ahead and disconnect there. We'll come over here. We need to do a couple things on the Phoenix ground ceviche. Let's go ahead and pull those out of there. That's good. We'll put this right back to departure perf. Terrain will come on. There's a high terrain to the southeast, 2000s in standby. We'll put that in auto. We need to be on Unicom 122.8. That is set and ready to go. We are standing by. Yeah, definitely some high terrain out there. That's why you got this almost immediate left turn. Do not delay left turn on the departure. You're in the Ansett 736, Green Dot? Good deal, man.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
The old format is the plus is down and negative is up. I know that French people hate numbers, but this is too much. Yeah. Did you see the video of the control and FAA examiner and poster? Oh, Jeremy, I didn't, but I saw the comments going nuts on it. I did not actually see the video. I'd have to watch it. Are you fit for flight? Have you at least 8 hours of continuous rest? Yes, Gustavo, I've had good rest, and there has been no intake of
whiskey pushing back stand 7 onto taxiway Delta.
Things that grow in the ground. There we go. Turn down V pilot a little bit. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna go back here. Go back here. We need to go nose left, tail right. All right, 250 below 10. Quick right hand or quick left hand turn on. Max 190. Speed and bank angle. We actually should look at this. Following limits are required until tracking 030. Max 190 shouldn't be an issue because we're going to be a hard left turn. Minimum of 25. So we're going to yank and bank to the left. At the earlier of 2.6. Okay. Yeah. I got you. All right, brakes release. We're clear to push. Cancel traffic. Just our 357. We're pushing back. Stand 2. I don't know what stand we're on. I just made it up. Oh, boy. I thought the 7.3 was pushing. My bad, Green Dot. We're gonna push through Green Dot. That's my bad. My bad, dude. We'll just look out this window. My bad. Have you heard of Fenix the GSX? Scott, I have. I have, and I was going to set it up. I just didn't. I haven't had time to set it up yet.
That ain't Green Dot.
Oh. It's not? Oh, so whoever the 3... Oh! Don't look. Oh, it's killing my frames. B1 cutting people on pushback. Classy. Well, I didn't hear him call for push. I thought I heard the 7.3 call for push. So I didn't even think to check behind me. Oh well. No harm, no foul. We're going to continue to push. We'll be out of his way here. Got that sunrise screenshot put on Discord. Excellent, Al. Look at this. Look at that. The Steelers, the sun out the... I love this airplane, man. Love it. Cowart Ray, Mr. Chicago, good to see you. Made it. Always nice to see you back in your bread and butter. Joe, yes, it is nice to be back. It is nice. Nothing to see here, Dougal. If we can't see it, it doesn't exist. Exactly. Look at that. See? Absolutely perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, pay no attention to that A350 fuselage. Exactly, AJ. Brakes are set. No, we don't, but we're going to start them up now. I'll tell you what I want to do right now, though, because it's kind of a... I'm going to turn the cabin lights off. There we go. Cabin lights are coming off. That's coming back on. APU bleed is on. Let's go ahead and start them up. Engine mode to ignition start. Turning engine 1. Here we go. Ah, it's good to have the Throttletek back too.
Unlocking gear.
Rather uneventful pushback. I bet you can't wait for the 787-900 tomorrow. Scotty too. Yeah. I'll fly it for sure, but I'm not like itching to fly the 789. I look at it the same way as the 320, man. Like 319 is cool, 321 is cool, 320's mid. 787-800 really cool, 787-1000 really cool, 787-900 kind of mid. Got a good start on number 1. We'll do a 2-engine taxi. We'll get these engines warmed up. Start number 2. Here we go. No, but I do like the textures on that 900.
Heavy taxiing. Bravo 2.
That the textures, the wing textures on the that Horizon mod look really good. Are we ever going to see you in the Tolest A320 Neo? Kimil Akbar. Not in a hot second. Haven't been in X-Plane in a while. Yeah, go big or go small, Jeff. I agree. Jeremy, I just use what's on the ECAM because that's what the airplane's feeling at that moment in time. The METARs can be up to an hour old, sometimes older.
At 95 Whiskey, we'll be taxiing through Delta. We will hold behind the traffic and we'll hold short for the heavy.
All right, sounds like we have a good start on numero 2. Might have missed the avail light. I didn't see it. Yeah, we did. That's going to go... Oh, there it is. That's going to go there. That's going to go there. We are flaps 1. I'm here for this Dash 8 because of Air New Zealand and Qantas. Dash 9. That is... Steven, so, even though I think maybe the 9 is mid, I definitely am going to be flying it when we fly 7.8s because isn't it the most popular one? Is the 900? Like, I feel like the American has the 8, but isn't the 900 also popular? I could be wrong. All right, APU bleed's coming off. That is coming off. We have a good start on number 2. Flaps are set. We're basically down 0.5, which we'll just do that. That looks good, and let's go. Cancel traffic, Qantas 350, or correction, Jetstar 357 going to be a taxi in 1.5. Behind the 7.3, we'll hold short for you guys to back taxi. All right, brakes off. Taxi light on. Let's go. Love it. Listen to those engines. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Okay, I thought that 7.3 was taxiing. I think that's a static aircraft. So we are going to taxi out, and then we'll just hold short where we need to hold short. Yeah, Jeremy, exactly. I just go with what's off the ECAM because that's real time, right? Anything that you read is going to be historical values. So I can look at real-time temperature on the ECAM. Same goes for if I'm trying to determine if we are in icing conditions. You know, the METAR may only say a 12C, but I can look at my ECAM and it says 9. Well, that's a little bit outdated. Brake check, pressure 0.
Sharp, big cat 34 heavy is going to be backtracking on wave 15.
Thanks, Brian. Thought they were on. Chat disconnected and chat reconnected. That's weird. You guys still with me? Are you guys still in the chat? With me. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. My chat box disconnected and then reconnected, and then it was all blank. So I see you guys now. All right. What's your zoom level? I don't know. Team Vodka, good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I guess that 7-3 was taxiing out. My bad. I think I just cut everybody off.
Traffic and set 95 Whiskey will be following the Rue conga line to the holding point and we'll hold short.
Oh, I've missed that sound, huh? I have missed that sound. Brad, not much of a chatter, but I just wanted to say thank you for source of motivation as I just managed to complete my PPL. Brad, well, thank you for that message, my friend. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's very exciting, Brad. Congratulations on your PPL. That's a big deal, my friend. So good on you for getting it done, and it makes me happy to know that I can still motivate some of y'all out there. That's awesome. That's an exciting time, Brad. Enjoy it. Be safe. Thanks for hanging out with us on stream. All right, brakes are set. While we wait for this 350, I'm going to do a flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Auto brakes max, takeoff config, check. That's going there. That's going there. That's should go there. Where's this 350? We are ready to go. Turn the dome light off. Micah Coffee, full stream and subscribed. Awesome. Why are we taxiing like an American pilot? Because I had to wait for this guy to back taxi anyway. There goes the 350. Cancel traffic, Jetstar 357. We're going to the back taxi, runway 15. Cancel. Just want to see him rotate. Gotta love it. Start the turn, start the turn. Start the turn. There he goes. Gosh, the sounds are awesome. We'll just get all the lights on because we're going to be taking off shortly after we back taxi anyway. All right, let's take a double check here on our likes. How we doing? So we're doing a flex packs on. I said for 170 likes, we will do a packs off. Ooh, doesn't look like we hit 170 likes yet, so we'll probably just keep the packs on, be super lame. We'll see. You have a few more seconds to decide. We're going to go all the way down there and flip a 180. I'll do one more check before we depart. But the fate of our departure is in your hands. What is the taxi speed limit on a runway? On a runway, you could do more than 30. Just depends on how long you're going. Like I've done 35, 38 knots on a runway back taxiing. But you don't want to be going so fast to where you're almost out of control. Like you still want to be in firm control. And it depends on how wide the runway is and all that. Like if I'm back taxiing on some little British Virgin Island runway that's only the minimum runway width of 75 feet or whatever it is, or 45 meters, 148 feet. 75 would be really small. Then I might taxi a little bit slower, but 184 on the likes, you say? Oh my goodness. All right, as I go past the turnaround here, we still got lights where they shouldn't be. That's okay. All right, we will do a packs off departure then. So we're gonna get the maximum juice on this. We'll go pack 1, pack 2. Turn those off. You can hear the cutout. And we're going to make a nice turn here all the way around to 15. Thank you for being good sports and smashing that like button. Absolutely fantastic. Now we get to experience the full CFM hairdryer takeoff experience. A little bit of an overshoot there. We'll creep it forward. We're not all that heavy. All right. Cairns traffic, Jetstar 357 going to be departing runway 15 on the Swift. Cairns traffic. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a minute. Yoga's in chat. Nose forward on the stick. Spool 'em up 50. Yoga. Absolutely love it. Oh, we're off center line. 80 knots thrust set. 100 knots check. I just wanted to get some external sounds. V1. Look at that acceleration though. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Navin. Fly with. Jeez. Bank angle check. The sun goes right into a cloud on departure. Bank angle check to the left. Turn with. Alright, we got a little bit of acceleration trend. We'll work it back. MCT. Oh, we got to do reduction from window view. Oh, yes. With the reduction there, we'll go pack 2 on. Speed restriction here, 190 knots. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful departure to Queensland, Australia. Well, I guess this whole part of the country is Queensland, but at Cairns. We're right at S speed. I'm just going to maintain our flap configuration here. Pack 1's coming back on. It's associated. There's our intercept. And flaps 0. After takeoff checklist. Now wing cleaned up. Accelerating now to 250 knots. We got a bank angle check to the right. I agree, and Mika's beautiful departure out of here this morning. Dimitri H., thank you for the 12 months of support as a member on the channel. Thank you for your milestone chat. 12 months, 1 year member. Appreciate you. All right, looking for about 10 degrees of pitch, 250 knots. Let's say that's about right. It's enough work for me today. We'll go autopilot 1. Full screen cam on. Whoops. Forgot to mute that one. All right, we are looking good. We got good spacing, 20 miles. Now, this route of flight is going to take us kind of along the coast, which is what I wanted, so it should be pretty juicy all the way down there. What tolerance do you have on flight director when in turn? How accurate you have to be with commercial command bars? Scott, so typically, when you don't have a departure that requires more than 25 degrees angle of bank, you pretty much stay in the flight directors. As you get really comfortable with the airplane, sometimes you can kind of anticipate where those command bars are going to go, such as acceleration and all that. But when you are on departures or EO SIDS or anything that would require something non-standard, you may actually have to fly through the flight directors. I highlighted this on that engine out stream in Reno, where it says, it even explicitly states in the engine out to fly through the command bars, do not follow them for lateral guidance because they will not provide enough bank for you to avoid the terrain. So there's our magic barrel ref at 10,000 feet. We'll clean it up. But generally speaking, you can be pretty accurate. The command bars are pretty accurate. Light discipline was not very good today. But yeah, on that one I was kind of ahead of them for a little bit there because I wanted to get a little bit more bank in. But on anything that's just standard, those command bars will be pretty darn accurate. And the rule of thumb is if the flight directors are on, fly the flight directors. There are some instances where that does not apply, but generally the way we teach, flight directors are on, you fly the flight directors. If you don't want to fly what the flight directors are doing, turn them off. V1, when the wind is variable at my destination, should I put in the box for that? Tim, that's up to you. Could be up to SOP. For us, I personally just put 0. If it's variable, I'll just put 0. Now, if it's variable at 10 knots, then I'll put in, either a crosswind or 10 knots on the tail just to see, because that is the limitation. But if, you got variable at 5, I'll just put 0 for 0. But if it's, you get one of those weird swirly days, variable at 7, 8, 9 knots. Some guys put them on direct crosswind, some put them on direct tailwind. Either way, I'll probably turn the auto thrust off and just fly that approach. Would you ever have a go at flying a Soviet airliner like the Tu-150 or Ilyushin 62 if there was one available on here? Dale, perhaps. Perhaps. I flew some Soviet airplanes in Digital Combat Simulator, and they are quite the handful. Oh my, look at this. Look at this GoPro view over the ocean this morning. Those Soviet airliners, those are a handful, no doubt about it. Rule of thumb, verify flight director on PFD doesn't interfere with terrain on the big piece of glass above the glare shield. Indeed, AJ. Indeed. Oh man, look at that. That almost looks like an IAE. Almost. What should I use to taxi on ground if I don't have a tiller? David, there's a lot of options. You can just use your rudder pedals, which is probably the most common. Some folks use a twist axis on their joystick. But I personally, before I had a tiller, I would just have it rudder pedals on the ground. But it always kind of drove me nuts because airliners, you don't taxi with your feet. You just don't do it. You can make little adjustments here and there. And if I'm on a long, straight taxiway and the airplane's not, getting weather vaned into the wind, then I can just use a small correction on my rudder pedals to keep it straight. But that was one thing that long bothered me about the airliners in SimWorld, is like you just taxied with your feet. But if you don't have a tiller, I would use rudder pedals or use a twist axis. That'd be my 2 suggestions. Dougal, I think it was X-Plane that had the Tu-154. I think it was. What happens if you have the altimeter setting correctly set on the FCU, but you have it wrong on the perf page for approach? No, it won't affect the airplane because it's going to go, depends on how incorrectly you have it set, Allie. Depends on how incorrectly you have it set, but there's other catch-alls in place. Like if you even have it incorrectly set, but if it's coming down to a difference between feet, you're probably doing an approach that's based off a rad alt, which is going to be different. So, it's going, the airplane, the FMS inside the McDo will fly what's in the perf approach page. That's what it's looking at. your Colesman window, well, you don't have a Colesman window, your altimeter on your PFD may not necessarily reflect what is happening if your altimeter is incorrectly set on the FCU. I wonder which type of aircraft takes longer to prep, a 7.3 or any Russian type. They're probably pretty close, Robinson. They're probably pretty close. Tower Ray says, sneakily watching at work, and of course they called me away for the juicy takeoff and climb out. Always. Always, Tower Ray. That's how it works, man. Alright, so why is this page up here? I think that's just a Phoenix thing. Yeah, we are pressurizing. The packs are on. Cabin is climbing 600 feet per minute. We're at 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and do our prog page adjustment. Let's put YBRK, our destination. Let's do secondary. We'll copy the active. And that's all done there. Let's put wingnut operations on 2. So we'll go 121.5. Probably the same in Australia, right? Let's go on there. We'll monitor. All right. We're looking good. Thank you, man. Practicing for my TR on the bus and new to simming. Was looking at tiller, but they are expensive. David, yeah, they are. No, I believe... I know that's not a tiller. That was a gear lever. I don't know of any other tillers right now that you could purchase other than Cat 3 Design. I think I've heard there's some other companies making them now, or going to be making them. Matt, tune 121.5. Meow, detune. How is your sensitivity for your side stick since the Phoenix update? I feel like it flies like a box truck on wings. I don't remember what we settled on, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't remember. I don't really want to pause the sim either. But ask me on the ground if I remember. I think... I know I reduced that reactivity. I think somebody had it down to like 30 or something. I think my reactivity is still in the high 80s, 90s range. I don't remember what it is. I'll check. Remind me when we're on the ground. Be easier to pause the sim. But we're in a conga line right now of traffic, so I love these little. I love the water that is depicted around Australia with the changing of the color of the water and the reefs and stuff. Once we get to our cruise altitude, we'll do some external views down, looking at the water. But oh yeah, there's a good shot for you right there. Look at that. That looks so awesome. I remember when on FSX they had the Rex water like pack or filters to make the waters look like that. I was so excited when that came out. Can you monitor 24300? No, cannot. Cat 3 is on the wish list for Christmas. All right, David. Good deal. IEs are still coming out this month. Maybe. If they do, they'll probably be here on Thursday or Friday when I go to a wedding. So you've got that they've got that going for you. But I don't know. Somebody said earlier that there was a possible delay. I don't know if that's even more so then. But I am confused though. Maybe you guys know. So I understood that that Phoenix officially said they're delaying the release of the IEs because they want to release it as a whole package. Does that mean the next release is going to contain the 319 and 321, or is it still going to be IAEs and CFMs first and then 2 new airframes? Because that's one thing I still wasn't sure on after I read that. I was like, okay, so we're delaying the release of the IEs because it made perfect sense. You don't want 72 different versions of your airplane out there to provide support for. But then what happens to the 1921 situation? Okay, just the full Block 2 of V2. I gotcha. So...
V1 traffic and Z95 Whiskey. We'll be climbing to 390. I'm stepping out of the cockpit for 10 minutes and we'll advise when back.
Stay away from those mushrooms. Okay, so Block 2 first, new planes later. Okay, all right. So at least I won't be missing those, hopefully. theoretically. So it'll just be IAEs and CFMs with their standalone engine models, is from what I gather, and then they're going to release the 19 and 21. Man, I really, really, really hope I get to at least see a preview copy of that 319. I mean, even if it's only the 319, I've even got a 319 on my desk. This is my instructor airplane, right here. Love the 319. I was supposed to fly one the other day, and turns out when you don't follow the ADs and inspections get missed, they end up grounding some of them. So did not get to fly a 319. I haven't flown a 319 in a very long time. Been flying mostly 320s. Been flying mostly all Neos. I did fly a classic 320 yesterday, though. I believe the delay was to release the IAs along with the complete rendering, a remodeling of the CFMs. Yes, Flight Sim Guy. That's what I understood too. So basically, they've been creating their standalone IAE engine, and they wanted to release their updated CFM with it as well. That way, everything is on the same page as far as engines go, which makes sense. Which, as someone who doesn't care about CFMs, makes me a little sad, but I completely understand. They always release the day I start a trip. That's the rule. So I start a trip on the 28th and the 4th. You're welcome for the release dates. Only if it's not after on Thursday. Would be the 27th. Yeah, 27th. They'll be releasing. Classic like CRT? No, not that classic. There was it did have a CRT McDo on my side, which was unfortunate because then I couldn't see what was going on. But just CEO, what was it, current engine option? Yeah. Ping Phoenix, they can't say no to V1. Oh no, they can, trust me. I do like the older Airbus house livery. It does look pretty retro, man. It's pretty cool. I like the old, that bluish purple, orange, and yellow. Kind of neat. Professor somebody says, how do you get the Tolis 321 Pratt to look so good in the Delta Stream with the OSP sound pack? Professor somebody, I believe those Pratt engines on that stream, those might have been the Carta engine mod. So Carta Jawol, fan of the channel, and someone who's fantastic with details, created a free engine texture set for multiple airplanes, including the Pratt Whitneys, the CFM Leaps. But I don't know if I actually had the Carta mod installed on that stream. I don't know if I did. I know that Tolis 321 has updated their engine textures as of late. So it could very well have been just the latest and greatest update from Tolis. I'd have to look at the stream to double check. We had a flight on a 320 of Turkish with 14 years. It was a nice experience to see the old screen. Yeah. The old screens are still around, the CRTs and all that. Look at that brief down there. Love to see that. I don't know why. It just makes me excited when I see that stuff. So United's got a ton of them. I think United might have the most CRTs in the U.S. I don't know. Be a toss-up. They do have quite a few of them. A lot of Neos in my future. Bidding a lot of transcons lately. Nice and quiet. Efficient trips as well. Can't have a 3.5 hour sit in a hub if you're only doing one leg duty period. Yep, exactly, Matt Presley. So the Neos are, I do feel less, what is that? They look like an interesting terrain blip. The Neos definitely, I feel less fatigued after a day of flying when I'm in the Neo. Like when you're in a Classic or a 319 especially, it's just so loud and obnoxious that you just feel like it drains you quicker. But a Neo, yeah, especially you level off up at cruise altitude, just sit back, put the chair back, have some coffee. I did that the other day. I'm actually going to Minneapolis tomorrow morning. I'll be going up doing my turn, my MSP turn. I love it. The last time I was there, so beautiful. Part of the reason why I kind of want to sneak away and do 1 or 2 streams in the U.S. before our long haul, because the colors of pretty much the northern and eastern part of the United States right now are just so beautiful with all the leaves changing. I was taken off at a MSP on Saturday, I think was the last time I was there. And I remember we were just in a left turn, I'm pilot monitoring, and I've got my seat back, we're climbing out, sipping my coffee, looking at all the trees, just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Pirate ship at 2 o'clock? Did you see a pirate ship down there? I don't see any pilot ships. All right, we are 30 for 35. Oh, this is looking good. We are looking good. Once we get to our cruise altitude, we'll jump to the outside view. And Delta have a lot of CRTs as well. Their oldest flying 320 was delivered in 91. Yes. Is it a Northwest one? Is it in a Northwest one? I didn't know. I thought all of United's were as well. So, be curious to see. I know United just had that delivery, right, of the 321 XLR, something like that. I actually like that livery on the United. The 321 looks really good. We also have a ton of CRTs. All the old insert merged companies, birds have them. No seat chain, no seat side chain charging ports. Got to be something like 150 the fleet. Oof. They're expecting snow in MSP? Not tomorrow, Al. Really? Let me check. Don't scare me, Al. Then I'm going to have to drop my trip. I don't want to do that. Can't be flying up in the snow. Almost did a walk around yesterday. It was like 77 degrees in New Orleans. So I was like, I got my blazer. It's about 2 degrees too warm to do the walk around. Right about 74 to 75 is my window. There is some snow going on up there right now. But that's up north of like, up north, Bismarck, Minot. I guess it's going to be cold. I guess I got to bring the heavy jacket. I guess I got to bust out the heavy jacket for tomorrow. We'll see. Heavy snow in North Dakota and north of MSP. All right, Team Vodka, good. As long as it's not snowing tomorrow, because I need to get... Well, I won't be getting any donuts tomorrow, but I will be getting some fresh coffee. Looks like... Are we passing that 350? No way. Jacket for what? 77 in MSY. Humidity is more like 85. Exactly. I wonder if CRT airplanes are actually heavier and have lower max takeoff weights because of the CRTs. Jeremy, you know what? I know it will impact the weight because you have to weigh the airplane with everything in it with the current. So if you do a full refurbish of the cockpit, your basic operating weights will change. By how much, I do not know. But it would make sense that they'd be a little bit heavier. Because of the CRTs, but I don't know to what extent, or maybe if there's some type of regulation where Airbus knows, hey, if you switch from CRT to, what is the LED? Is it LED? Is that what we have now, LEDs? Whatever the new one is, Airbus might have something saying, hey, this is exactly how much the weights change, so you don't have to reweigh the entire airplane. CRT is cathode ray tube, Felix. It was kind of the first rendition of glass in cockpits. If you think of the old TVs, they were cathode ray tube. You can really kind of tell that they're not as crisp. They suffer from burn through. What's that airplane that has a really good rendition? I think the any builds CRTs look really good. You can kind of tell it just looks a little bit different. In the sim, it looks pretty good. In real life, CRTs can be kind of a pain because depending on how the sun is coming through the cockpit window, it might just completely cover up or kind of wash out your screen. And I know that we still have quite a few, I wouldn't say quite a few, we still have some CRT McDoos like I was saying yesterday. So the McDoo was CRT, and anytime the sun would come in through the window here and like shine on the MCDU, it would just look like there's nothing on it. It would look like the McDoo was dead. And I have to like put your hand up on the side here to cover it to see what you're doing. Or like if you're making entries in the box, I got to put my hand up over this side here so I could do what I got to do. And the same was true for the actual displays, albeit a little bit harder because the displays do sit back pretty good in this cockpit. They do sit back underneath the glare shield. Pretty good.
Back in the cockpit. Copies, man.
34 for 35. My favorite trick with the CRT is to pull out the iPad's camera to see all the weather being depicted because you can't actually see it with your eyes. LCD, that's what I was looking for, LCD. But there have been a lot of weight reduction to the airframe, some structural strengthening here and there, so Airbus make the screens non-compatible. Interesting. I flew from Cancun to SFO. Ooh. I hope you had a window or aisle seat. Recently and flew over Monterey. Looked very impressive. Have you flown that way in sim in real life? I have, Scotty too. I have. So Cancun, not out of SFO. When I was living in Texas, I like to do Cancun turns. I'd go down to Cancun and come back. So not quite as far west. You know, you're going west. Are you talking about Monterey, California, or Monterey, Mexico? But Monterey, in California, I've been to multiple times. Matter of fact, we've done some streams out of Monterey. My grandparents had a house in Santa Cruz, California, up on a hill, and it actually overlooked Monterey Bay. You could see it from as long as the visibility was good. Monterey, Mexico, I have been there one time. I thought I was probably not going to come home. Slept in the Citation, just about. That was a very interesting experience. That's actually a good podcast story. Monterey, Mexico, a little bit different than Monterey, California. Well, at least it used to be. I don't know about now. All right, there's Alt Cruise. We're 350. Let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. You're now free to move about the cabin. We have a company massage. What do we got here? Probably because we were late because I sped the time forward. AOC, receive messages. Yeah, that's because it's only because I sped the time forward in the sim. All right. I don't think we can get weather, right? That's still broken. I won't even mess with it. Pod what? Do all your exes live in Texas, Hayden? Not all of them. I actually said podcast. All right, let's go ahead and take an outside view. I'm going to lower the sim down a little bit here. Delay code time travel. Oh, yeah, look at this. The black and orange. I like it. The black and orange is looking good. With the gray. Black, orange, and gray. Could you imagine if these were IAEs? Are these IAEs in real life, or is this a CFM airline? I feel like this livery would particularly benefit from an IAE engine with a nice dark silver engine there. If they upgraded the wing fences to sharklets, they got an airframe where the wing reinforcement for the sharklets were there. If they upgraded the wing fences to sharklets. Huh. Podcast of E1 explaining the ASAP he had to fill out. Still have to fill it out. I don't know what you're talking about. Just, some guys, man. Jeez. Random one. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Random one. I'm doing well. Hope you are well. Glad to have you on board. Welcome to the stream. They are IAs in real life? Okay. There's something in the background? Do you guys hear something like somebody talking in the background? Was that V-Pilot? Sounded like I heard somebody talking in the background. At cruise, do you chat with the FO, or is it quiet, or does it just depend? Dub, it depends greatly. If you are flying with someone that you can get along with, well, shouldn't say get along with, because you should be able to get along with everybody. You're paid to be up there, you're paid to do a job, get along with somebody. If you two like hit it off or jive, then yeah, of course you talk, and it makes the flight goes by much faster. But, you know, not everybody's going to be your best friend. You're not going to jive with everybody you fly with. So then sometimes it can be silent or not as talkative, which we have creative ways of staying entertained. I mean, as airline pilots, that's we'll keep those secret to the flight deck. I think there's a hot mic on V-Pilot, so I'll go ahead and turn them off. But, yeah, we do multiple things. Talk. Try not to bring up politics or religion. Other than that, though, everything else is pretty much fair game. But I'm getting it's interesting though for me now because I just switched bases not long ago, and I knew pretty much I wouldn't say everybody, but I knew a lot of the people on my last base. Being a new pilot to this base, I don't know as many, but I'm starting to know more now. I've actually got some pretty good friends that I've made already that I really enjoy flying with. In fact, I picked up a trip. I picked up that turn on Saturday because it was with somebody that I knew. I was like, oh, I want to fly with that guy. We always have a good time. So, do you have your side stick on an angle like the real Airbus? I do not. Hold on, I'm trying to fix my chair. I do not have it on an angle. You're talking about how it cants ever so slightly to the right. Yeah. See, I don't know how to mount that, but honestly, I haven't really noticed much of a difference, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, if you wanted to be 100% accurate, you put it on a little bit of an angle. What is this? What is that down there? That's like a shipping yard? Is that like an offloading facility or something? Look at that. So they run this pipes or something where maybe the bigger ships can come and dock. That's very interesting. I'm sure someone will comment and they know what that is. That's pretty cool. Oil terminal? Maybe, yeah. So if you're flying up the East Coast, I don't know if this is what this is. I don't think this is what this is. But if you're flying up the East Coast and you're like over Norfolk and all that, you'll see something similar to this. You'll see these long, basically railways. They're for rail cars to go out to a dock. And that was when they were offloading and loading munitions on battleships. And they wanted to get it away from the land because if there was a catastrophic incident or something where there was an explosion, they didn't want it near all the civilian populace. So you could see that like Norfolk has a few. There's a couple more along the East Coast there that you could see near some of the military installations. There's one in particular, I can't remember the name. I think it might be Norfolk. There's this huge pier goes out in the middle of the water, and that's because it's a rail car. They send munitions up and down. If it were to blow up, they don't want it to blow up on the city. Wow, beautiful coastline here on Australia. I didn't realize how beautiful this whole coastline was. Let's pop a few tunes off here while we got a minute. That looks pretty sweet. I kind of like this top-down view. I like that top-down view. New Jersey is the large one. Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. You can't upgrade from CRT to LCD because there was a lot of changes in the airframe. Ah, okay, my bad. My bad. You can't upgrade from the LCD to the Enhanced. The Enhanced allows you to upgrade to Sharklets, but the certification was delayed. Interesting. Very interesting, Gustavo. So there was much more structural stuff happening in the background. It's not just like pulling out the screens and putting in the new screens. I see. I bet you're loving the new 330 right now. Yeah, man, I love the 330. It's great. Latin VFR 330. I was tempted. Hey, if you guys would have voted for it, I would have flown it. Would have flown it for you. But it's probably wise that I didn't purchase it. I think if it was $15, I would have done it. Not for $34. Did you hear about the plane that did a tail strike? Yeah, I did. The JetBlue 321. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty crazy. Oh yeah, that is the shot right there. That's a vibe. I gotta get my lingo ready. I'm going to Southern California for this wedding. It's a vibe. That's what all the cool kids say. U.S. Navy still uses piers off of New Jersey. The track goes to the Naval Weapons Station Early, which has nuclear weapons. Very cool, Thomas Ray. See? We got facts in chat. Would you ever consider going direct 350, Captain, if the lifestyle was the same? Well, sure. Why wouldn't I? But they're not running 350s up to Minneapolis and back. I can tell you that right now. They're not running 350s to Cleveland and back. So the lifestyle is not the same. Being a wide-body pilot is a completely different lifestyle. That's just not one that I ever really had a desire to go for. Now, I got friends, two of my closest friends, probably you guys probably referenced them. I have three very close friends at another airline. One of them, he's actually getting ready to switch from the Airbus to the 737, and I can't wait to see what he has to say about that. But my other two close buddies from flight school, they're both in training right now on the 777. So, but they have always wanted, ever since flight school, they're like, man, I just want to fly a 777. I'm like, more on you, man. It's like, I just want to fly. Like, I never had that itch for super long haul, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 hour flights. Just never really had a desire. And even if I did, if I were to scratch the itch, quote unquote, maybe if I was single, but having a family, man, nah, dude. I love going to work, coming right back home, bringing donuts home for the kids, and that's what I love. That's what I love. I wish, though, Allie, on your question, if I could have my way, I would fly the A340-600 doing domestic turns under 5 hours block a day. That would be the ultimate dream job for me. A340-600 going to Minneapolis and back, Cleveland and back, that would be the ultimate dream. Did you see where 320 sim pilot switched to the 7.8? Scott, I didn't see that, but I heard that. That's what I heard, yeah. So that's definitely exciting. That's pretty exciting. I don't know the 7.8. It's very interesting that he's gone now from Airbus to Boeing, but if he went to Boeing, that I think if you were to say any Boeing is like an Airbus, maybe the 787 is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's similar, but it's like advanced, It's got some advanced uniqueness to it. That's a point. Has he flown the 7.8 Kuro mod? That would be a stream I'd want to watch to get some insider info, because I don't think we have any 787 pilots on YouTube, right? So, hey, at least it's not another Airbus 320. Well, I guess he was already on it, so it doesn't matter. Is your seniority that allows you to do turns? Correct, Mick. Correct. So, well, I say that, Mick, but it depends. It depends in the base. Like some bases, certain trips will be more desirable than others. We have a pretty good even distribution of trips. So like our trips are split up between day trips, 2-day trips, 3-day trips, and 4-day trips. So there's 4 different types of trips, and every month that the bid package comes out, that's the package of all of the available trips, or pairings as we call them. They're pretty equally divided. So there's 25% day trips, 25% 2 days, 25% 3 days, 25% 4 days. Now, it's not always exactly 25%. Sometimes there's a little more, a little less of one or the other. But generally speaking, yes, the day trips tend to go more senior unless you're in a super heavy commuter base. Like a commuter base would be a base that does maybe a lot of red-eye stuff. So, if you have a base like an LA base, for example, West Coast time zone, typically you're going to get a lot of red-eyes out of there. The day trips probably aren't as senior because there might be some senior folks commuting in that they want those 4-day trips that are commutable. They want those commutable 3-day trips. They want to be able to fly in the day of, start a trip, and then fly home at the end of that trip. That's called commutability. So it just depends. It varies. But yes, generally speaking, the day trips, the day turns are go more senior than not. Why not the 340-300? Man, because the 600 just looks so much cooler with those big engines on it, which I'm excited for because that's what I can feel it, chat. So the secret airplane for mini builds, I'm telling y'all right now, I have no insider information whatsoever, but I will put a stamp on it that their secret project is going to be an A340. What model, what variant, I do not know, but I just have this weird feeling that that's what it's going to be. Maybe a 300, maybe a 600, whatever it is. I feel like that's what it's going to be, though. Is it possible to fly Part 121 with a CPL? Tiger Dude, I don't believe so. I think you need an ATP. I'm not 100% sure, though. There might be some other, like, roundabout... That'd be 135 operations. I don't know if you can or not. I want to say no. I want to say, whoa. I want to say all 121 is ATP requirements. Every time I close my eyes, nightcap. Oh, well, now we got to see how this beat drops. Jeff Skills went from the 320 at Airways to captain a 78 at American. Oh, Jeff Skiles, yeah. So my close family friend, mentor, went from 737-400 captain at Airways, or 300? 300 captain? 737-300 captain at Airways, went to 75-76 at American. I'm retired on the 75. According to Internets, that's a shipping pier for a barge company. Interesting, AJ. It looked like a shipping pier because they had those, like, that big area there on the land side. Why did you turn Pack 2 on at 2,500 feet? Because I forgot to turn it on at acceleration altitude. Oh, I already read that one. Wide-body flights are interesting until you learn how your circadian rhythm can get. Gustavo. So Gustavo is exactly correct in his... assessment. Now, I'm liking this song, but we're going to go ahead and just skip this one. So one of my other buddy that's going to the 737 off of the 320, he always loved, another flight school buddy of mine, he always loved the 75. We were always on the same page, like, man, we love the 75, it's so cool. And I asked him just the other day, I was like, why no 75, 76? And it's just because of the schedule. So I guess at that particular airline, that airframe runs like short Europe stuff. So you're not going like deep into Europe or anywhere like that, but you're basically doing a red eye there and a red eye back, and you get paid 15 hours or so because it's like a 3-day trip or something like that around that time. So the schedule, even though you love the airplane as much, the schedule that airplane operates on is not conducive to how you want to live your life when you're not at work. So that has a big factor. That is a big factor in selecting airframes too. Seems in Europe you have to get ATPL before your CPL anyways. Yeah, it's interesting how it's... I'm not too familiar with how Europe does things. I know they do some strange things when it comes to type ratings and all that stuff. Oh yeah, this is our song. This is our vibe song right here. All on the airplane's turning right on cue. I appreciate flight dynamics, but I would love an A350 with any build's quality. Yes. Lazaros, I would love an A350 with any build's quality, but I think the super modern Airbus, the 350, what's even more hard, like a 787, like, yeah, we have the freeware 787 stuff, but I want to say, I don't know, I feel like it's so advanced that it's harder and more complex to get a real detailed simulation on. I could be completely wrong by saying that, but I feel like that has something to do with it. But then, you look at the opposite side of the coin. Well, what about the super retro airplanes like the 727, 707? Those are pretty basic system-wise when it comes to systems modeling, right? I mean, you're running old school pitot-static stuff, but why aren't more of those developed? I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not as much of a desire in the community. Who knows? But something about the 350 to me just screams it's too advanced to get a super good model done. So Gustavo says, in the U.S., no, but outside the U.S., yes. But you need a frozen ATPL. Okay. So you have to get your ATPL before your CPL in Europe. Okay, so there you go. Gustavo's your man for anything regulation-wise. He's the unpaid intern at V1 Sim. A proper 707 would be sweet. Yeah, flight 707 would be cool. Isn't a 380 as advanced as an A350? is tackling that so it is possible. Oh, fly-by-wire is tackling. Captain Will, you're right. We'll see. We'll see how the fly-by-wire 380 comes out. I am very much looking forward to that because you bring up a good point, Captain Will. If the 380 comes out and it's very successful and it's got a pretty good systems development behind it, how many of those systems can you kind of copycat for an A350? Maybe fly-by-wire drops a 350 free mod. Could you imagine? Or maybe they would do a payware. By that point, I just hope they would do a payware so they could get rewarded for their time. But that would be interesting to see how the 380 handles and then use some of that systems development, put it on a 350. Last CFM flight, guess there's some inside info I didn't know about. MG King, it's probably going to be my last one because I will not be here when they release the IAEs. First of all, greetings from Germany. I love your content. Thank you, Dennis. Do you have any idea how I get my hands on a 320 family QRH? Dennis, your best bet's probably going to be Google or the internet. Maybe a virtual airline might have something you can download. But as far as just getting one, you're going to have to... I'm sure there's some available online. I'm sure there's got to be. Kanopki, 318 from Latvia. Okay. All right, Kanopki, you're driving me nuts with this 318. I'm making a poll. Where are we landing? YBRK. Oh, no, I'm just going to do this. Next stream to Sydney. So we're going to have about the same amount of distance. I did this poll on the last stream for the 330 Neo, and it was struck down. You guys tell me. I do like the 318. I think it's an interesting airplane. Now, here's the thing, though. Can I use... Well, I wouldn't want to use the fly-by-wire internals on it. Ugh, I don't know. Don't let me down, chat. I will honor whatever the chat votes. Top of descent? Probably. Let me check. We got to be getting close. Not quite. We are getting close, though. Enter destination data. We need infos. We are only 20 miles to TOD. Let me go here. Let me do arrival. I'm going to see if I can pull the METAR this way. No METAR available. Ah. Wait, hold on. Apply METAR. Winds 140 at 2. Perfect. So dry, 140 at 2. Landing weight, 134.8. It'll be less than that, but we're just being extra conservative. So winds 140 at 2, 299 or 7. $140 at 2? Okay. Temperature is, do we have a temp? 20 C. We'll finish this stall. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's step down to 300. We'll get one more outside shot here. And then we'll wrap it up for the arrival. $318, but you have to use the default systems. Let's make him fly on X-Plane A320 just out of spite for that. Or, you know... could possibly do 319 from Toldus to Sydney, but man, the Sydney and the sim looks so good. Why did Airbus choose autopilot logic where you have to click in the knob for descent to start instead of what some other planes have where as long as the MCP altitude is lower, descend to TD? Because they didn't want the airplane to start nosing over by itself. Insert MCAS. Insert not good. Tell the Latin VFR. Man, I am surprised. I am surprised at you, chat, that you've held out. There's only 100 votes. If you haven't voted yet, please do vote. Please vote. I'm very curious to just get a straight gauge from my community here on this chat. We got 200 plus watching. If you haven't voted, please vote. Just on your live chat, click the little thing, yes or no. I'm asking if we should fly the Latin VFR A318 to Sydney. I'm just trying to gauge how the community is, because when you look at these airplanes, like you look at the Latin VFR 330, you look at the reviews on the Microsoft store and all that, I mean, they have more and better reviews than airplanes such as the PMDG, you know, which is crazy. So maybe I'm the one that's a little bit out of touch with thinking that everybody wants more study-esque level, high detailed leveled airplanes. Zippy, I'm landing 1-5. I'm not watching no Latin VFR stream, says the FSX legend. Well, that sums it up. If the FSX legend says no Latin VFR, then I guess we can't do it. I really don't want to watch hot garbage. Oh my gosh, you guys are you're crazy. All right. Look at this nice little inlet here. All right, let's take a look at our approach. We're going to keep on descending. I'm going to manage descent down to 180. Let's take a look at our approach charts here, and we'll set up the airplane. What was the mode reversion? Thrust idle, descent, more drag. You'll be fine. Let's go back to Rockhampton. Look at the starred charts that I have selected. I have airport info here. We have a freeware Rockhampton. I'm aware there's a Orbix one, but I didn't want to spend the time or the money on that one. We're not doing the ABVAS. We're going straight RMP 15. The ABVAS, if we were landing or coming in from another direction. So BKNC is at 3,500, basically a straight in RMP. The minimums, this is interesting. So we have LNAV, VNAV minimums of a DA of 370. Actual aero QNH, not sure. I'm not sure what that is. So we'll just go with the straight DA of 370. Maybe actual aero is a different location. Terminal forecast. Let's go with the forecast MDA. We'll take the most conservative, the highest minimum. It's clear we're going to see the runway. 550 though, but it's an MDA. Remember that means a must do addition. So we're going to add 50 feet. So we'll call it 600.
We've begun our descent on the VNAV and we'll be going for the approach RNAV 15.
So we're almost overspeeding, just like my disregard. Speed brake is out. We're going to set 10,000 feet here for right now. 10,000 is set. We will not need our LS push buttons because we're doing an RNAV approach. 600 in the barrow because we're taking our most conservative terminal forecast QNH, which we said was going to be 29 or 9 or 7 out of the transition altitude. Manual brakes, full reverse, flaps full. We're a 320 for tail strike. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Ding, you have been advised. I have been advised. I will end the poll now. It looks like we will not be flying the A318. All right, I guess I'll just fly it on Discord. I just want a 318. I'm just so intrigued by that. Okay, no flying the A318 from Latin VFR. You guys have shut it down yet again. I'm a man of the people. Let me get flight recorder up and ready. I'll be shooting LNAV, VNAV, Canadian, in final lap. Get the replay ready to go. Why are the speed? Oh yeah, the speed brakes are out. Get the sim sounds up here a little bit. I like how slow they retract. We're just cooking on the speed. Must be time for landing. I'm starting to get all kinds of calls and all right, bunch of spam calls. I guess we are behind on this descent a little bit. More speed brake. I think the only play Latin VFR would make money out of me is the 340. There you go, Felix. I probably would have to do that as well. Laura checking in just to tell you not to waste money on the Latin VFR. We'll be sleeping in a chicken coop. Speaking of, I might have to get another chicken coop. We have some segregation going on with our chickens. We have two groups of chickens that do not seem to want to get along with each other. All right, I'm going to manually select 250 K knots here, help slow us down. Speed alt star will leave the speed brake out, help us decelerate rapidly. In your opinion, DFW area a good place to start flight training? Andre, yes, it is a good place. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's probably number 3. I think Arizona, I don't know, Arizona, Dallas, and then Florida maybe. Or Arizona, Florida, then Dallas. Just because you do get some thunderstorms and you do get some icing conditions in DFW that can hinder some training days, but not much. I mean, we're talking just a few. It is still right up there. I would say the top 3, I don't know which order, in no particular order, Arizona, Dallas, Florida would be probably the top 3 states to train in. 29907 is set. We're slowing to 250 knots. We will descend and maintain 5,000 set, thrust idle open, descent, wing lights, landing lights are coming on. Rockhampton traffic, Jetstar 357, right at 10,000 feet. We're setting up for the RNAV 15, Rockhampton. All right, here we go. Look alive. Rival chicken gangs. Dude, the feather dumb dinosaurs are savages. If they're already divided, soon they will have violence. I know. I've seen it. I've seen it, Gustavo. They are they're like little mini velociraptors. That's interesting. You guys see that? Look at that bright blue thing right there. I was trying to see what I saw. That's weird. All right, 7,000 for 5, 250 knots. Once we level, we'll slow to 210. We'll start working it back, and we'll get ready for... I wonder if we could app-nav her from here. Hey, app-nav, final is blue. Final approach fixed altitude at Berkney is, or Berkniff, is 1850. But it looks like we can pick it up at 3440, so... If we... Are these not in feet? No, they are. Okay. For some reason I thought we were in meters for a second. No, that'd be much higher. Yeah, so we're good. Speed alt star. Let's dial it back to 210. I forgot to note there were several accident reports of Part 121 flights in which the first pilot had a CPL. This was before. Yes, that was before a 1500 rule and before the Colgan air crash. At that point in time, it was possible. You would have captains only were ATP, and you were commercial first officers, I believe. Yeah, you could, not everywhere, but you could. It could be that, depending on where you went. Your dad's aunt lives in Rockhampton. Awesome. Or auntie. Very cool, Dale. Is it true that this is like a big beef part of the country? That's what I saw on Wikipedia. So we're all having steaks tonight. I think Gustavo's buying. Water was going to buy, but he's not here. So Gustavo's buying steaks tonight. Recently unemployed, so he's going to spend his severance on buying everybody steaks tonight. V1, is the Airbus side stick stiff like the 737 yoke? It's, I wouldn't say stiff. I mean, it's definitely stiffer than any toy joystick. Like I said, the Thrustmaster Warthog base is probably the closest you're going to get. Depending on the airplane too, some are a little bit stiffer than others. I've noticed, the 320 Neos coming fresh off the factory, they're nice and firm. There's nice positive resistance. Some of the older airplanes, they are much lighter, but still heavier than something like a TCA or a CH product or like a Cytec stick, all of which I've had. Medium rip. You've been nailing your 320 landings lately, and I'm loving it. Billy, good to hear it, man. We haven't had a 320 landing here in a while, so we'll see. My landing yesterday was pretty good. It could have been a little softer. I was landing on the shorter runway in New Orleans. Was at like 7,000 feet. Could have been a teeny bit softer, but I was right on the aiming markers. Spot on. But other than that one, though, actually, I've honestly been in a little bit of a landing rut, if I'm being honest with you. My landings haven't been as soft as I wanted. All right, we're about to start down. I'm going to go ahead and select 180 knots now. We're selected speed. Let's go ahead and activate and confirm if we haven't already. No, it's already ready to go. VIA Phoenix minus 10, flaps 1. Here come the slats. Fenix 320 with Thrustmaster yoke when? Sam F, good to see you, man. Sam, you going to be in ATL tomorrow? I'll be there in the morning. Flaps 2, here we go. Speed checks. This little brown water river situation here. We just need kangaroos running around. We need like a kangaroo mod. We're already missed the final lap. What's the glide path angle? It is 3 degrees, so we should be good. We're flaps 2 already. I'm going to come back to 175 because it was having a hard time there. Rockhampton traffic, Jetstar 357. We're on a 15-mile final for 1.5 Rockhampton. All right, recorder is recording. And let's get our Throttletek cam online. Do the different airframes have different personalities? If so, are there any particular? Yes, Dale, they all have their own personality. My favorite is the 319. It's a little bit sportier. I feel like I can take it all the way up to 39 most of the time, even if we're heavy. It just can get up there. It's a tank of an airplane. You can stop it quick. You can climb good. 321, if it's going to be a bumpy day all day long, then I want to be in a 321 just because it's a little bit bigger of an airplane, heavier. Pretty much the same wing, though, but it just, because of its gross weight, it kind of beats back on the air a little bit better in turbulence. So if it's going to be a bumpy day, give me a 321. And then the 320, in my opinion, is mid because it is exactly that. It's middle of the pack. Go big or go home. Go big or go small. 320 is just kind of there. The 320, though, is, in my opinion, the kind of the finagliest one to land really well. Like, the 320, it's just kind of hit or miss. The 319, you're either going to grease it or you're not. The 321, you're probably always going to grease it. The 319, if you're light in a 319, it's probably going to be a little bit firmer than you like. It's just the light 319s for some reason kind of tricky to get real buttery smooth. But the 320, it's just one landing, you do the same thing, you do awesome job. The next landing, you do the same thing, and it's not awesome. All right, here we go. Managed speed. Approaching 2,000 feet above touchdown zone. Right. We got a little bit of tailwind. Let's do it early. We got an 8-knot tailwind. Landing gear down. It's a cool shot. I feel like we don't do that enough. External view there for the gear. VFE next minus 10, flaps 3. And flaps full, landing checklist. Can't wait to have flaps 40. Landing checklist. Cabin crew advised auto thrust is in speed. Auto brakes are actually, because I have no things behind me to stop my chair from rolling back, we're going to go low brakes. It's the only reason we're going low brakes. And let's hand fly it. Autopilot's coming off. Flight directors are coming off. Give me the bird. Bird's on. I'm going to leave the auto thrust on because I want to see how, if this is indeed the last CFM flight I do, I want to see how the next version, Block 2, will handle auto thrust. This one's been pretty good. This V2 Block 1 auto thrust has been much better than the previous. There's really no complaints.
1,000.
Brian, the IAEs allow for a little bit more flap deflection at flaps full. I want to say it's 40 or 37. Don't quote me. Gustavo probably knows. I want to say it's 40 on the IAEs, and on the CFMs it's like 35. All I know is it's more on the IAEs and it looks better. Tactical flip-flops are in op. Thank you. That's right. Yeah, I got my boots on. So tactical flip-flops are in op. A little bit high. Correcting. There goes. Our tailwind went away. That's good.
Minimum 500. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Oh, shite. That was so buttery. I let it go. It was legal. That touchdown zone was short, man. That was not an ICAO touchdown zone. Everybody stop it. It was legal. I did it for the butter, okay? I did it for the YouTube cloud. I don't even know what it was, but I think that felt smooth. 70 knots. That felt pretty darn smooth. Yeah, I told you it was a 0. See? See? Manual brakes. It was... That was a... Look, this is a non-standard touchdown zone. You got aiming markers, and you got the aiming markers, and then you got like 500 feet. That's it. I want someone to pull up a picture of this runway in real life, and you tell me how long that touchdown zone is. That is not an ICAO touchdown zone. Flight control side stick fault. Well, that's a spicy one. Had that in a sim one time. All right, we'll go ahead and clear it up. That was 100% a 0 feet per minute. I believe it. The only time you can go outside the touchdown zone is if it's a 0 foot per minute. Rockhampton traffic, Jetstar 357, we're clear 15, taxi to the ramp, Rockhampton. It's an Aussie touchdown zone. Alright, we'll stop the recording.
Heavy viewer, right base for runway 15.
Right base? What's this guy doing, touch and goes? I had no idea the flap deflection was different between engines. Yeah, a little bit. All right, lights are going to stay on. Ooh, we did not have the lights on there. Yeah, my light discipline not good today in the sim. But honestly, guys, the real reason why I always screw up the lights is because I hate changing my views just to manipulate the lights. On any given taxi out, I manipulate the lights probably 42 times. And if I were to just do that on stream, it'd be annoying. That's why I need a mini light panel is what I need. The runway has the same 3 markers, really? Is it really? Okay, well, we're going to have to look at the replay. We're going to have to look at the replay. That is the shortest touchdown zone I've ever seen in my life. Typical Jets fan, excuses, excuses. Alright. Let's go ahead and turn it on here. It was hella legal. First third of the runway for sure. Is there no gates here? Where does one park at Rockhampton? That looks like Terminal-esque over there. Oh, I see. I see. We got to do one of these inverted things. Oh, I should have came in the other direction. Uh-oh. I'll tell you what. We'll go out here and we'll take this gate right here. This is the freeway Rockhampton, by the way. This is on the Flight MTO. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for a freeway. There is an Orbix one available for purchase, but looking at the pictures and figuring I'm probably only going to land here on this stream, we'll do a hard right and bring it in right here. Actually, should we go to this one? They've got all the services. Let's go to... let's make this one there. What the heck? Watch out, Blue.
Traffic, Captain 34 Heavy, you're 10 miles on runway 15.
John, no worries, man. Glad you could catch us live. Look at that shadow, chat. That shadow is spot on. No jagged edges or anything. That is a real-life shadow right there. That is so cool. All right, we'll take it all the way to the end, yeah. And it's going over the airplane. Oh, wow. Sim is just looking extra juicy today. Sim is looking extra juicy. Brakes are set. And we're not going to do the whole deplane shebang. Let's go ahead and take a look at... I guess we could. We're going to see this A350 land. But a little tour of the airport here. We've had technology for non-jagged shadows for years? Well, someone tell Austin over to explain that then.
Traffic,
Look at that. That looks real. That looks like a real tree. This is a great little scenery here. I don't imagine the terminal is modeled, right? Nah, not really. Pretty good. Oh. Hey, Lauren's not here, so we're safe.
Rockhampton traffic and set 95 Whiskey. We are approaching final approach backlog and we are RNT 15.
Traffic on final, say call sign.
Cafe 34 Heavy.
Cafe 34 Heavy, Rockhampton Tower, runway 15, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 15, Cafe 34 Heavy.
I can see him out there. We'll watch this 350 land, then we'll get out of here. Love the Fisher-Price Rockhampton logo. Is that... Ginar, is that where... No. This isn't Fisher-Price, is it? Beef? Xylobo, this is not default. This is freeware, though. This Rockhampton scenery is on the Flight MTO.
Whoever is in the tower, watch out for the border. Whoever is in the tower, watch out for the border.
Oh, here it comes. And then we got to see this 0 feet per minute. Look at that 350. I got to say, though, 350, chat, 350 greater than 78. Come on. Come on. You got to give Airbus that. Boeing has crushed the visuals on their airplanes for decades. They all look better than Airbus, but the A350 is definitely more appealing than the 787. Come on. Come on, look at that beauty. Could you imagine an any build's A350? Could you imagine? My first flight would be Atlanta, Cleveland, and back in an A350. Getting a little unstable there. Getting a little unstable.
Rock for traffic and set 95 whiskey. We're passing Basel, 5 miles from the final stretch. Runway 15 on the RC approach.
That was firm. That was firm. That was a firm one there. All right, let's take a look at our... We're going to disconnect for now. We're going to look at our replay. And then hopefully we might be able to connect in time and watch some more land. So let's go replay. I won't play sail just yet. There's not much to look at on ours, so we're just going to kind of zoom it forward. Sorry, green dot. I just flew through a traffic.
Too low. Terrain.
That's my bad. He was in the touchdown zone. Kablamo. Who said that? Dynasty. Kablamo. Good old Blanco Lirio. All right, let's check this out. 0 feet per minute. Make sure the flaps come all the way down before we land here. Scenery issue. I mean, I guess it might be a legal touchdown zone. Shoot. We were so close. I was like, right there. Oh, come on. That is 0. That is 0. Chat. That is a 0 feet per minute. Come on. I never complain when I get a 5 hundo. This is about as close to 0 as you're going to get. It was so smooth, it's legal. I mean. Bang on the sun. Look at that touchdown pitch attitude, too. Perfect. Absolutely juice. Where's the other green dot? Oh, he's about to land, or he already landed. I think he already landed. Yep. I was trying to look at the traffic there. I was trying to watch that landing. All right, let's reset the spoilers here real quick. All right, let's take a look at this from inside view. That was not in the touchdown zone. Illegal. It was like one runway stripe. One runway stripe. The tail of the airplane was still in the touchdown zone. Nobody felt that? That's one of those where you wish you didn't need the spoilers armed. Indeed. All right, hold on. I want to see where the tail is. All right, we're down. We are literally on the paint. Okay. That's the first third of runway. That is the first third of runway. Legal. I'm calling it legal. All right. I got to get out of here. I got to get ready for work tomorrow. I got to get up early. Y'all, it's been fun. I'll leave you with a couple more replays here. If I can get these spoilers down, it'd be great. There we go. Doesn't G-force on landing gear impact more accurately? Yes, it does. Feet per minute. Yeah, in fact, the real airplane, it only does G-load. You can only really see the G-loading. So, and they're all above 1. You can't have less than a 1G landing, or else you'd be floating. But that's going to be it today. We're going to wrap it up. Look at that shadow right there. Looking good, good, good. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Next stream, we're headed down to Sydney in a mystery airplane. I don't know what it'll be yet. It won't be the Latin VFR A318. And then 15-hour long-haul, sub, long-haul, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be crazy. Should be a fun one. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate the support. See you in chat. Until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya.